All right, let's get right into it. We hear all the time about how smart AI models are getting, right? But what if they could actually do stuff? Today, we're going to break down a new protocol that's designed to give AI the one thing it's been missing, hands to actually work with in our digital world.
Just think about the AI assistants you use right now. They're incredible for a chat, they're fantastic for brainstorming, for answering questions. But what if you could ask your AI to not just write you a poem, but to actually save it as a file on your desktop? Or not just describe a trend in data, but connect to your YouTube channel and analyze the comments for you? That's the huge leap we're talking about today.
And this slide right here really nails the difference. On one side, you've got your standard chatbot. It answers questions, it lives in a little window, it's a passive tool. But on the other side, a true assistant. It takes action, it works with your files and your apps, it becomes an active partner. So the big question is, how do we get from one side to the other?
So here's the game plan. First, we're going to look at why AI has felt so trapped. Then, we'll introduce the key that unlocks it, a protocol called MCP. We'll walk through a really simple real-world example, and then we'll dig into the security that makes it all possible. After that, we'll zoom out and see the mind-blowing ecosystem of tools this is creating. And finally, we'll wrap up by looking at how this changes everything, turning a chatbot into a real partner.
Okay, so here's the core problem, right? We have these unbelievably intelligent AI models, but they're stuck. They're basically trapped inside a chat window. They have no real way to interact with your world, your files, your applications, all the tools you use every day. It's kind of like having a super genius brain floating in a jar with no way to connect to anything.
And that brings us to the solution, the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like a universal translator for AI. It creates a common language, a standard way for the AI to finally communicate and interact with all those other programs, breaking it out of that lonely chat window for good.
So if you want the textbook definition, MCP is a standardized protocol that gives AI apps secure, controlled access to your local stuff. And listen, the two words you really need to focus on there are secure and controlled. This is not about letting an AI run wild on your computer. Not at all. It's about building a super safe, permission-based bridge.
The whole system really has three main parts. First up, you've got the client. This is just the AI app you're actually talking to. You know, the program you're typing your requests into, maybe something like Claude Desktop. It's the face of the operation, the AI assistant itself. Next, you have the server. Now, don't let the word server sound complicated. A much better way to think of these are as specialized toolkits. A server is just a little program that gives your AI a specific new skill. So one server might give it the ability to read and write files. Another server might let it connect to YouTube to pull data. Each one is a new tool you can decide to add to your AI's toolbox.
And finally, connecting those two pieces is the protocol itself. This is that secure bridge we were talking about. It's the rulebook that lets the AI client and the tool-providing server talk to each other safely. And the absolute number one most important rule on that bridge is that nothing, and I mean nothing, happens unless you give it the green light.
All right, theory is great, but what does this actually feel like to use? Let's make it super concrete with a simple, but honestly incredibly powerful example. Letting your AI organize files right there on your own computer. This is the perfect way to see MCP in action.
So imagine you type this into your AI assistant. It feels like a totally normal, natural command, just like any other prompt. But instead of just spitting text back at you, the AI is now ready to actually do the work. So, what happens next?
And here's how it plays out for you. It's a really simple four-step dance. 1, you give the command. 2, and this is the most important part, the AI doesn't just do it. It comes back to you with a plan. It shows you exactly what it wants to do. Step 3, you look it over and click Approve. And only then, step 4, does the magic happen. The folder gets made, the files get moved, you're always in the loop.
You know, that approval step is so fundamental to how this all works, it really deserves its own moment in the spotlight. The entire system is built on this core idea of the approval handshake, which guarantees that you are always 100% in the driver's seat.
I just love this analogy. Think of it like a digital permission slip. For every single action the AI wants to take, whether it's creating a file, reading a folder, connecting to an app, it has to come to you first. Present the slip and ask for permission. You review it, you approve, or you deny. No surprises, no sketchy moves, ever.
So, we've seen how MCP works with a single tool, like managing files. But the real power, the true game changer, is that because this is a standardized protocol,
Anyone can build a tool for it. And that has led to an absolute explosion of capabilities, creating a huge ecosystem that unlocks almost limitless potential.
And when I say an explosion, I am not kidding. Check this out. There are already over 800 of these servers available. 800. And that number is climbing every single day, all thanks to the community. Just think of each one as a brand new skill you can add to your AI's toolkit.
And just look at the sheer variety here. For developers, you've got tools for GitHub, Docker, AWS, all the big ones. For productivity, you can connect it to Slack, Google Drive, Notion, Jira. Want to analyze some data? No problem. Hook it up to YouTube or Google Sheets. It can even integrate with payment systems like Stripe, manage your website on WordPress, or, get this, control your smart home with Home Assistant. And seriously, this is just scratching the surface. It's wild.
So what all of this really points to is a fundamental shift in how we see AI. We're moving beyond the whole idea of an AI as just a chatbot that you talk to, and we're entering a brand new era where it becomes a collaborator that you can actually work with.
If there is one single thing you take away from all this, let it be this. MCP gives your AI hands. It connects that powerful brain of the language model to the real digital world, transforming it from a passive tool into a truly capable partner that can work right there alongside you.
And that leaves us with a pretty exciting question, doesn't it? The tools are here, this ecosystem is growing like crazy, and your AI is no longer just a passive chatbot. It's an active collaborator. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build together?